a cloak of American rock and roll, which is, as I've said, it's an easy and seductive kind of thing to fall into.
We stayed in all Sunday to watch the big day.
We were really excited. The publicity had said that Wet Wet Wet, our favourite band, were to top the bill.
We waited and waited, but got angrier and angrier as they did not appear.
When at last we got a chance to see them, which was late in the afternoon, they got cut off in the introduction to their first song.
We are really disappointed and feel that Channel 4 have cheated us.
For weeks I'd been looking forward to the big day. On Sunday the 3rd of June the big day dawned, and what did I get? Lene Gressvert, who contravened the Trades Description Act on at least 2 counts and were boring in any language, and Billy Bragg singing his greatest hit, although the use of that atonal choir was a novel touch. And then we got Sheena Easton, a woman whose most significant contribution to Scottish culture was to leave the country. And what followed? 20 minutes of her blaring away in the key of P and wiping herself on the guitarist. And who arranged those dance sequences? Lucinda Green? The woman possesses all the charisma of a pistachio, and I doubt if she could sell out a bus shelter in Argyle Street. But what of Wet Wet Wet? Since the trailers for the event featured them so strongly, I don't feel I was being presumptuous in assuming that they were considered a major attraction and that they'd be given some prominence in the coverage. And what did I see of them? Half a song, that's what. I feel I was conned into watching that programme. Your trailers led me to believe I would see much more of the Wets. They're my favourite band, and if I have turned into a nasty, sarcastic, cynical woman, it's because I'm suffering cultural burnout from watching every bloody moment of the big day in the vain hope that the Wets would turn up sooner or later.
Well, we asked Trevor Davis, producer of The Big Day, to respond to these comments, and this is what he said. This was the biggest outdoor music event ever held in Europe. We were able to give a taste of almost every musician who'd come to Glasgow for the day, but this meant that inevitably we weren't able to devote as much time to individual musicians. And what about the Wets? Well, quite close to the day of the event, Wet 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 decided that instead of the 2 sets agreed, they wanted to play only 1, closing the concert at George Square. We reluctantly agreed to this. On the day, the previous band, the Associates, overran, and Wet 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 were only able to get on the stage as we closed the programme. We altered the evening programme to include Wet 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 in the show, and not completely disappoint their fans. And we will try to redress the balance at the end of tonight's Right to Reply. Now, on Tuesday, Channel 4 broadcast Shadow on the Cross. This was a documentary tracing the history of Christian anti-Semitism.
One of the dangerous things about teaching
that there may be a job in the city. I was living in a world of make-believe when my best friend Ron told me that there may be a job in the city. Hey, so now even you can buy the early scheme, but I never thought all the dreams that a man who's king of industry. He would swear by his mouth of wine, he would buy the best, but never something new. And he never told me, kicking in the dirt, and wishing I was lucky. Wishing I was lucky, wishing I was lucky.